It's been a while, but I haven't played Fury since it came out way back in 2016. But what's bringing me back now after all these years is because while the real ones over at Game Bakers just released a DLC character with some extra layers for me to delve into. So it gives me the perfect excuse to live and relearn this legendary game. So let's hurry up and get into it. This is Combat Overview. In this series of videos I go over just that, the combat. To be a visual matter in a way and to give a more in-depth look into what a game has to offer, because too many reviews gloss over gameplay, calling it a button masher, or giving it the blanket statement, it's like DMC. On square, we'll attack with our blade, doing a 4 attack combo, and landing that final hit will lead into a hard knockdown, which is a perfect time to set up any follow-up you want, one of those being a charged attack by holding square. You can move around while you do this, but very slowly, but landing that hit will do good damage and it'll lead into a knockdown. In the up close and personal stage of the fight, if you hold the right thumbstick in any direction, it'll boost your blade, basically giving your sword a buff, making your next attack very powerful, and unlike the charged attack, this won't knock down an enemy. And it's also a slow wind up, leaving yourself pretty open, so you have to find the right time to pull this out. Usually I do this after any hard knockdown, and when they have a good amount of health for me to cut down. But keep in mind, get hit once and you'll lose that buff. In the more open part of the fight, we can aim and shoot with the right thumbstick. Works like a twin stick shooter, so your movement and shooting are free from each other. Also, this aiming is all on you, so you gotta be sure you're good at it. Also, your bullets can destroy most boss projectiles, letting you get through their wall. But these hollow orange ones can't be destroyed, so you gotta dodge through or around them, or parry them, sending them back and dealing damage. And just like how we can charge our sword, we can set up a charged shot by holding R2 while we aim. It'll increase its power and its hitbox. We don't have a block, but Fury skips that and goes to what we actually like to use that block for. And that's a parry on circle. It's extremely snappy, and each successful parry will both heal you, a tiny bit though, and gives you an opening to strike back. But since it heals you, and if you're down bad, you can risk parrying their whole string to get them extra heals, or to just get what you can after that one parry and go for the follow-up attack. You can also take it a step further by doing a perfect parry. You'll still get the same amount of health back, but getting one of these will do a good amount more damage and lead into a hard knockdown afterwards. Also, keep in mind that you're invulnerable when you land a parry, so you got some iframes during that little window when a successful parry is happening. And now that you know that, to save you some time, don't dodge these, parry them instead. And yep, just like I mentioned earlier, we can parry projectiles. But if that's too much or not worth doing, we can also dodge with X, having some good iframes, and can even hold X to charge it up, increasing its distance. And real quick to circle back around for a bit, that charge attack can be dodged out of it and still keep its charge, letting you get around those enemies' attacks to really punish them. You can even parry out of the charge too. On our HUD, we have our health bars shown by these pips, and these 3 little squares underneath are our health stacks acting as our lives basically. And if one or more are gone, you just gotta beat a phase, and not only will this restore your current health bar, but also restore a stack too. If it wasn't obvious just yet, but Fury is actually a boss rush, and their setup has you go between these shoot 'em up sections, a real bullet hell, making you do on the fly decision making with dodges and positioning, and then you move to these close range fights to really get personal. And here, the parry shines. But dodges, positioning, and timing are still here too. You don't gotta worry about that. From the charge attacks, dodging to keep it, the parries, the blade boosts for high risk, high reward, and the boss will even mix up unparryable attacks, shown by these red attack ranges, forcing you to keep moving, as if they weren't before. But yeah, as you cut down their lives, they'll have these multi-phases to them, changing up their approach, and when they reach their final life, it becomes this desperation phase, throwing everything they got at you, and you can't damage them for the majority of this phase, shown by them being orange, so you're forced to dodge and deal with their attacks and survive. And all these bosses are great. They teach and test you on different parts of your moveset, from multi-parries, speeded movement, precise aiming under pressure, or to fight a real 1v1. And if you don't think the Edge is a sick fight, I have no idea what to tell you. But that's not it. Like I mentioned earlier, we do have a new character to play, Onimusha. And her unique playstyle is being able to hot swap between 2 stances. The first one is Spark, which is light and agile, very fast in every way, from walk speed, dodges, having less end lag, and quicker pellets. but your damage is laughably small. But pressing R1 will switch to your other stance, the Storm, which is a powerhouse. Every option here is slow, but this is where our damage is. From every assault attack, from the charges, from our shots, the parries, and all that get a huge buff and damage. And come on, just look at your roll in this stance. It still has some iframes on it, but you go nowhere. But it really goes to show you how good each stance is and their specific uses. But not only is there an incentive to switch for their better movement or better damage, but if you look at your stance logo, you see it'll fill up. Now once it's full, swapping stances while you shoot would do a buffed shot for a bit, and then as you shoot, you'll see it fill up again, letting you chain these. And using all these tools will fill up this ult meter next to our stance icon. From landing shots, short attacks, parries, and dodges will all add to it. Pop it by pressing triangle, and this makes you have the best of both worlds. The fast shots with wide enough spread, and each shot does damage, especially your blade now. It'll easily shred any boss's life bar. It does drain very slowly though. Good thing is the ult mostly won't be used unless you shoot or land any attacks. So it won't be used unless you attack, which is nice. But yeah, she's a sick addition to an already hype game, and she can get stylish just the same. Plus with the fast hot swaps, you can really do better damage output and evasive maneuvering than the base boy could. And yeah, that's Furi. Again, what an awesome game. And if you liked it just as much as I did and want to play more, you can try your luck on Furier difficulty, remixing boss patterns and making them more aggressive. You can even speedrun to get better times, or just rerun it on normal to perfect your score. And to brag a little, I did get straight S across the board. I speedran the game, beating the combat designer's time, getting a 104, and that top 21st place. Now Furi is just too good. It has you master its tools to the fullest potential, and in those situations of knowing those boss attacks so well to delay just long enough to get those perfect parries, back to back, blade boosting in those tiny openings to really push your advantage, and charging that blade while zigzagging through boss's attacks to get that big punish, all in the name of being stylish.